in the finals.
I've long been a big Steph Curry fan, and I have been extremely disappointed by his overall play in these finals in key moments. This is all given the fact that he's a two-time former MVP and has had a golden opportunity to show that he could win a finals without Kevin Durant and without Andre Iguodala being the finals MVP. Just remember, he dehydrated before Game 2 in Toronto, and clearly he was feeling some degree of pressure because his team was facing an 0-2 hole at that point. Klay goes down with a hamstring pull, 8 minutes left in that game, and I still can't get over the fact that down the stretch, the last 8 minutes, Steph Curry couldn't even get up a shot. He couldn't get to the free throw line. He had one assist, and they went 8 straight empty trips from 5:39 down to 7 seconds left when Iggy finally ended it and saved them with a 3, or they would have been swept in this series. Obviously, they went home Game 3. He scored 47 points, and you say, oh, I got you there. But really, they were a lot of empty calories to me because we've known him to flurry from 3 and just blow teams off the Oracle floor from the 3-point. He's revolutionized the game with his 3-point shooting, not that night. They could never cut it any closer than 7 points, the deficit. We didn't see him do what he did against Houston when he scored 23 in the fourth quarter of the closeout game at Houston. I know I'm raising the bar way up here, but I thought he was that guy. And then we get to the other night, and it got so bad for Steph Curry, I've never seen this from him. He was hesitating, flinching, sort of hitching, double clutching before he shot 3 of his threes the other night. What? And they're all short or they're all offline. And it's just not him. He goes 0 for 5 from 3 in the first half when they had a chance late in the first quarter to blow Toronto out. They needed Steph to flurry from 3, and he just couldn't. He goes 2 for 9 from 3 for the game. So all of a sudden, I'm having those flashbacks to games 5, 6, and 7 against Cleveland when they had them down 3-1, and he came up really small in all 3 games. And if we just look at the fourth quarter, in these, well, let's just look at the plus-minus. Against Houston in those 2 games, and then the 4 against Portland, he was a plus 59. In the finals, he's a minus 16. Well, he's that guy. There's no KD, and Iggy's on one leg, okay? So who are you, Steph? Well, they need you. I needed you, because I picked Golden State, to be that guy. And instead, he's that guy who came up very small against Cleveland. So in the end, yeah, I'm extremely disappointed because I set the bar even before he got drafted way up here, and he is way under my bar.
Go ahead, Shannon.
You should be disappointed, Skip, because this was his moment. This was his moment to shine because we keep hearing this and all the stats, Skip. How many times have we seen the stats? When Steph Curry plays and Kevin Durant doesn't, they're 31-1, or they're 31-2, or they're this and they're that. This was his time. This was his moment to be the Steph Curry from the Portland series and the last game and a half from the Houston Rockets series. This was his time to shine, and he hasn't been able to do it. Now, we saw him have that workmanlike effort in Game 3, 47 points where he led the team in scoring. He led the team in rebounding. He led the team in assists. And it seems to me that workload was far too much of a burden for him to carry because he has not even been close to resembling the Steph Curry that we know he can be. As you mentioned, Skip, there are a lot of times Steph normally catches the ball and lets it go. We saw hitch after hitch after hitch, shot come up short after time after time and time again. So I don't really know what's going on with Steph Curry other than say, we can make excuses for him and says, okay, he's tired. But everybody's tired. It's not like Steph Curry is the only one that's been playing and everybody else, he's had off and he just started playing, he's been playing 150 games and everybody else has just played 75. Everybody's played just as many games as Steph Curry to this point. But this was his opportunity to show, you know what, guys? I can do this. I can carry the load. Yeah, we don't have Kevin Durant. We'd love to have him back, but he's not. Let me show you why I'm a 2-time MVP. Let me show you why I won one of those unanimously. And Klay in Game 4, Skip, if Steph give us anything close to the Game 3 performance, Chris, and he gets Klay to come along, well, hell, Klay came along, and then Steph got out the car and left Klay in the car by himself. I agree with you, Skip.
Thank you.
I think game 1, Steph was very good, 34 points. Game 2,
Yeah.
okay, 23.
Until the fourth quarter.
Not very good. Game 3, I thought he was tremendous. Game 4, disappointing. Yet, as you said, the bar is so high. When you're averaging 33 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and you're disappointing, 33 points is 33 points. I mean, that is great. And you mentioned no Kevin Durant. Clay missed the game. Kevon Looney has missed 3. DeMarcus Cousins is a shell of himself. Iguodala's banged up, averaging 7 points a game and shooting 21% from 3. Draymond Green has not been himself, shooting 8% from 3. Now, I know he's not a great shooter, but 8%. Steph Curry's facing a box-and-one defense. When's the last time we remember an NBA player facing a box-and-one? I don't even know if Michael Jordan.
LeBron get that every game he plays.
Let's go to LeBron because nobody can do it by themselves. Steph Curry, you look at his numbers, he's shooting 41% from the floor. When LeBron had to do it by himself in 2015, he shot 39% from the floor. And I'm not saying Steph's as good as LeBron, but that's what it is. Nobody can do it by themselves. And Clay's been probably their best player in the games he's played.
Yes.
So I'm not saying Steph has been Steph, but I'm just saying when you average 33 points and people are disappointed, that says something. That's a high bar. He's not what he was against Portland, not what he was against Houston, but as Shannon said earlier, Toronto's a different animal defensively. I mean, they got great individual defenders, and they play great team defense. And then they're throwing up box-and-one, and you mentioned not getting a shot off. I understand it. As somebody who played a box-and-one defensively in high school and college, it's like being a cornerback, except they, in football, they can run a fly pattern and run by you.
Okay,
you can't do that in basketball.
And know you got help.
Right,
No,
you
time
just
out.
totally face guard somebody and keep them from getting the ball.
When did help ever help against Steph Curry? How did he revolutionize the game?
Not
Shooting
enough-
threes.
But
like
you
what I'm
had
saying
help.
is, even if it's Fred VanVleet, he can't block Steph's shot. If you told me they put number 2 on him and he just engulfed him out on the perimeter, but he can get his shot against VanVleet anytime he wants his distance shot.
He has not had that three-point blitzkrieg that you're talking about. I agree with that. And as Shannon was saying earlier, he's not going to be in the top 10 right now. He said if he wins this series, he goes top 10. But look, the reason Michael Jordan's the GOAT is because he's the only player that I can think of that never had a moment like this in the finals or even maybe in the playoffs. And whether it's LeBron against Dallas, whether it's Isaiah Thomas in his first finals, he had 4 games, he scored 15 or fewer points. Whether it's Larry Bird, 2 8-point games in his first finals. We've seen it time and time again from stars not be able to step up. And if his moment of not being able to step up, he still averaged 33,
Okay, but remember,
that says something.
you can make stats do any dance you want to make them do. If you look at when the money's on the table, in the fourth quarters against Houston and Portland, he shot 38% from 3, which is pretty much what he does. In the fourth quarters of this finals, he shot 25% from 3, which is not what he does. They need him to make the 3 ball. They need him to rise above the finals and say, I'm even better than number 2. I'm a better star than he is in what I do. And that has not happened.
Now, he had 10 points in game, and I don't even think he was good in game 4. But he had 19 points in the second half, 10 in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
They've just gotten beat. We're expecting Steph to average 35 and win and shoot 40% from 3. That's a high bar.
To be the difference maker. Why did you pick Golden State in 6? I'm sure you were thinking he was on fire.
Steph and Clay, I didn't. And look, even when they won it in 15, as you say, Iguodala was the MVP, although I think it should have been Steph. Yeah. They had other players contributing.
Okay. But we just saw Steph come out of the most devastating, dominating stretch of his whole playoff career in games 5 and 6 against Houston and those 4 against Portland. I'd never seen him play better. So I thought, okay, here we go, right?
I'm going to give to – and look, I'm not trying to sit here and say he's been himself because it has been a bit disappointing. But I'm going to give Toronto's defense some credit for that too. And
Right.
then
I think the
injuries.
biggest, I think this is where Skip is most disappointing, is that he saw what happened in game 3. And he says, well, if he gets some help, he's going to be just fine in game 4. Well, Clay comes back and drops 28 and was magnificent.
Yep.
And then it's like Steph took a step back. Oh, we didn't say, Steph, give us 47. But you can't give us 20. What you can't give us what you gave us in game 4.
Yep.
Give us 35.
That is true.
Give us 33. So he's saying if Steph gives us if Steph gives us what he's been averaging, which is 33, to go along with Clay's 28, now we might be having a different discussion, Chris. That's what the disappointment is that this is your moment to show, because you know what everybody's gonna say? Yeah, KD needed y'all. But y'all really, really needed KD, because I'm not so sure with LeBron and Kyrie in Cleveland, y'all were ever going to beat them again, especially after they track you down from 3-1.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.